If you're receiving Social Security and your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of any month, your September 10th payment could be dramatically different, and I'm talking about potentially thousands of dollars more than you've been receiving. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening with Social Security right now, why September 10th is such a critical date, and most importantly, how to determine if you're entitled to a massive retroactive payment that could change your financial situation overnight. Welcome to Financial Area, where we decode the financial changes that directly impact your wallet. If this information helps you discover money you're owed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more financial insights that could put real money back in your pocket. Right now, Social Security is undergoing one of the most significant transformations in its history. We're not talking about small tweaks or minor adjustments. We're talking about sweeping changes that are putting real money back into the pockets of over 72 million Americans. And if you fall into certain categories, you could be looking at the biggest Social Security payment increase you've ever received. Let's start with what everyone is getting. The 2025 Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, is set at 2.5%. Now, before you think that doesn't sound like much, let me put this in perspective. For the average retiree, this translates to about $49 more per month. That might not sound life-changing, but over the course of a year, we're talking about nearly $600 in additional income. For someone living on a fixed income, that's grocery money, utility bills, or prescription costs that are now covered. But here's where it gets really interesting. The 2.5% COLA is just the beginning. There's something much bigger happening that affects a specific group of people who have been getting shortchanged for decades. On January 5th, 2025, the Social Security Fairness Act became law. This piece of legislation eliminated two provisions that have been reducing Social Security benefits for millions of Americans, provisions called the Windfall Elimination Provision, or WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, or GPO. If those terms sound confusing, don't worry. What matters is understanding who was affected and what this means for your wallet. These provisions reduce Social Security benefits for people who worked in jobs where they paid into a pension system instead of Social Security. We're talking about teachers, firefighters, police officers, federal employees hired before 1984, and state and local government workers. For years, these dedicated public servants were penalized simply because they served their communities in jobs that had different retirement systems. The justification was to prevent so-called double dipping, but in reality, these rules were unfairly punishing people who had legitimately earned benefits from both systems. A teacher who spent half their career in a state with a teacher pension and half in a state where they paid Social Security taxes was seeing their Social Security benefits reduced even though they had paid into the system fair and square. Here's the massive news. Those reductions are gone forever. Not reduced, not temporarily suspended, completely eliminated. If you were affected by WEP or GPO, you're not just getting your full Social Security benefit going forward, you're also entitled to retroactive payments for benefits that were unfairly reduced in the past. We're talking about over 3.2 million people who are now eligible for these increases and back payments. And this is where September 10th becomes crucial for people with birthdays between the 1st and 10th of the month. The Social Security Administration has been working around the clock to implement these changes, and they're processing them in waves based on payment schedules.
If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th, you receive your Social Security payment on the second Wednesday of each month. In September 2025, that's the 10th, and this payment is among the first to fully reflect both the COLA increase and the Fairness Act changes. But here's what makes this even more significant. The SSA began issuing expedited retroactive payments as early as February 25, 2025, but many recipients are seeing the full impact hit their accounts with their September payments. This means you could be looking at not just a higher monthly benefit, but also a substantial lump sum payment covering benefits you should have received dating back to January 2024. Let me paint a picture of what this could mean in real dollars. If your Social Security benefit was being reduced by, say, $300 per month due to WEP or GPO, which is not uncommon, eliminating that reduction means you're now getting $3,600 more per year. But that's just going forward. The retroactive payment for the 20 months from January 2024 through September 2025 would be $6,000 in back pay, plus the ongoing higher monthly benefit for life. And remember, this isn't a one-time bonus. These adjustments to your monthly benefit are permanent. They continue for the rest of your life, And they also affect survivor benefits, meaning your spouse could receive higher benefits if you pass away first. There's another crucial aspect that many people don't realize. The higher benefit amount you receive now becomes the new baseline for any future COLA increases. So when next year's COLA is calculated, it will be applied to your new, higher benefit amount. This compounds the positive impact over time, making each future increase worth more in actual dollars. Now you might be wondering exactly who qualifies for these life-changing increases. The key is understanding your work history. Did you ever work for a government entity where you paid into a pension system other than Social Security? This includes teaching in many states, working as a federal employee hired before 1984, serving as a police officer or firefighter in certain jurisdictions, or working for state and local governments with their own pension systems. If you answered yes to any of these scenarios and you've been receiving Social Security benefits, there's a good chance you were affected by WEP or GPO reductions. Many people don't even realize their benefits were being reduced, they just accepted the amount they were receiving without questioning it. Here's how to find out if you're entitled to these increases. First, look at your September 2025 Social Security payment and compare it to what you received in previous months. If there's a significant increase beyond what you'd expect from the 2.5% COLA, you're likely benefiting from the Fairness Act changes. You can also log into your account on the Social Security Administration's website and review your payment history and benefit calculation. Look for any mentions of WEP or GPO adjustments in your records. If you see these, or if your benefits seemed lower than expected based on your earnings history, you were probably affected. Don't just assume the system will automatically catch every case. The SSA is processing millions of adjustments, and while they're working diligently, some cases might require individual attention. If you believe you should be receiving a higher benefit but don't see changes in your September 2025 payment, contact the Social Security Administration directly. It's important to understand that these changes are happening during a time when Social Security faces broader financial challenges. However, both the COLA and the Fairness Act adjustments are required by law and are permanent features of the system. Your higher benefit is secure, regardless of ongoing political debates about Social Security's long-term funding.
For people who have been affected by WEP and GPO reductions, this represents the end of decades of frustration and financial hardship. Public service workers who dedicated their careers to serving their communities are no longer being penalized in retirement. It's a major victory for fairness and equity in the Social Security system. If you're a standard retiree who never worked in non-Social Security covered employment, you're still benefiting from the 2.5% COLA increase. Your September payment will be higher than last year, providing some protection against inflation and rising costs. Recipients of Social Security disability insurance and supplemental security income are also seeing the 2.5% COLA boost. While the Fairness Act primarily affects those with mixed work histories, the COLA ensures that all beneficiaries are getting some increase in their monthly payments. There are some practical considerations to keep in mind as you navigate these changes. Social Security benefits may be subject to federal income tax depending on your total income. An increase in your benefit could affect your tax situation, so it might be worth consulting with a tax professional to understand the implications. Also remember that your payment date isn't changing. If your birthday is between the 1st and 10th, you'll continue receiving your payment on the second Wednesday of each month. The difference is in the amount you'll receive. If you don't see an increase in your September payment but believe you should be eligible, don't wait. Contact the SSA as soon as possible. While processing is happening in waves, some adjustments may require additional documentation or verification. The September 10th, 2025 Social Security payment represents more than just another monthly deposit. It's a milestone in the ongoing evolution of the Social Security system. For millions of Americans, it's bringing real, permanent increases in monthly income. For those who have faced unfair reductions for years, it's a long overdue correction that provides greater financial security and peace of mind.
These changes highlight the importance of staying informed about your benefits and advocating for yourself. Don't assume that the system will automatically catch every issue or that you're receiving everything you're entitled to. Take the time to review your Social Security statement, understand your payment history, and ask questions if something doesn't seem right. The future of Social Security may face uncertainties, but these reforms represent a powerful step toward a fairer, more equitable system. Whether you're seeing a modest COLA increase or a substantial adjustment from the Fairness Act, make sure you understand what you're entitled to and take action to secure every dollar you've earned and deserve. If this video helped you understand these important Social Security changes, or if you discovered you might be owed additional benefits, please hit that like button and subscribe to Financial Area. We're committed to bringing you the financial information that can make a real difference in your life. And remember, when it comes to your Social Security benefits, staying informed and staying proactive is the best way to ensure you get every dollar you've earned and deserve.